You look back on your law enforcement career and through working with gangs and sex trafficking and EPA and BLM and everything else. Can you tell me how being in law enforcement affected your family?
Yeah, I've been pretty I've been pretty lucky. I've been definitely blessed in that it hasn't been extremely strenuous. I was lucky enough to never have work where I'm stereotypical, like having to leave from the dinner table to go on a call out. That happened, I can't even remember. I mean, we're talking maybe once or twice in my whole career. Most of my stuff was so planned out and we were able to work around it. I had a lot of late nights, a lot of weekends, but I could at least plan for it. And
Mm-hmm.
so my wife could plan for it. But she has a story that I just learned like 2 years ago. She never told me. And I think this kind of fits in with how it affects even just mentally your family. But I was a brand new rookie HSI agent in Dallas, and my wife and I weren't married yet, but we were living together. And I was fairly fresh back from the academy, and I'm going out on my first search warrant early in the morning. And I had already put on my gear at home, and because I had a brand new car, like I didn't have any of my stuff in my car, like it was a mess. So I had to gear up at home, which I didn't normally do. And so I come to tell her goodbye. She's still in bed. It's like 4:30 in the morning or whatever. And she said that she remembers, like she'll never forget it. She remembers kind of rolling over to like touch me and tell me good luck and be safe. And she felt my body armor, and like I had my external vest carrier on, and she felt it. And she said as soon as I left, like it hit her. It truly hit her, like what I was doing.
Mm.
And she said she rolled over and said a little prayer for me. And I didn't know that until like two years ago. She's randomly telling this story to some of her friends that are hanging out at her house, and they're drinking wine, and somehow this story comes up, and she tells them, and I overhear it. She didn't mean for me to hear it. And I'm like, wait, what? What is this? And I'm like, I had no idea. And she goes, yeah, that was the moment where like it hit me. And that stuck with me all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Of every time you walk out the door, especially when you're going on an operation. And it's gotten better. I mean, obviously, as my career's progressed, I've done things that are kind of a little safer. And now I'm just a supervisor, so she doesn't worry as much. But those things have always weighed heavily on her mind, and she has always been super supportive. And luckily, I did most of my kind of more dangerous stuff in the gang unit before my daughter was born.
Mm-hmm.
So she wasn't really exposed to it. She loves hearing my stories, though. Loves the stories. Constantly asking for stories.
Your daughter or your wife?
No, my daughter.
Okay.
My wife lived through them. My daughter's constantly asking for new stories. And I'm like, I'm running out. I feel like I didn't do enough. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely affected, but I know we've been very lucky in that it could have been much more emotionally burdensome on my family than it has been.